All right, let's get going. So hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out to Sabio info session. This is actually the first of 4 this week. We got a full week this week. So we're going to do 4 of these info sessions. We got one more today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then another one tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then another one on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you guys for coming out. I know Monday, the first one, you guys remembered. Good. So you're here. But my name is Robert. I'm the Director of Admissions here at Sabio, and I'll kind of be running the info session today, but we're also accompanied by a couple special guests. First one is Zach. You want to introduce yourself?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm Zach. I'm one of the instructors here at Sabio, and I also went through the course. So any questions you guys have about life in the course, hear directly from me.
Yes, so special treat. We have an instructor here and a past student. Also, we have an alumni who is not a paid actor, who is here by the kindness of his own heart. Connor, you mind introducing yourself and kind of let us know what cohort you were in?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Connor. I work at Nudesic. I'm an associate consultant and app developer, and I work on the IVC and Saddleback community college websites, just in case you're local to the Orange County area. Yeah, I was an alumni. I graduated back in October, part of cohort 107. And yeah, I'm here to share my experience and hopefully help you guys make the decision.
Sweet, yeah, special treat having alumni come on here. So thank you, Connor, for coming out. And Zach, what cohort were you? Were a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, I graduated in December 2019, and then I went on to work for a mortgage marketing company as one of their lead engineers, and then came back here to help students and train.
It's awesome. Yeah, so Zach, a couple years ago, and we got Connor, who was fairly recent. So you can kind of hear how we really haven't, besides the tech and stuff, we really haven't changed much, and we've been pretty consistent all the way through. So pretty cool to have you guys on. So thank you so much. So again, thank you guys for coming out. So we're going to go over a lot of great things through this info session. A little housekeeping before I dive in is you're going to see a ton of info on this info session. And yes, it is super easy to get into the weeds, especially with a lot of questions. So I want to urge you to, and I'll open up for general questions, of course, but if you need to go a little more personal and take a little more time, let me post a Calendly link in here for you real quick. And I want you to click, I'll urge you to click on it and schedule some time with us here in admission. So let me post a link. I'm going to post it in the chat here. And it always happens. You guys always think of questions. People always think of questions after the info session. Please click that. We can help you with any additional personal questions and also talk next steps and how to make this work for you. So, but again, I'll open up for general. It's nice we have Connor here and Zach. So I definitely want to give everybody an opportunity to ask some general questions. So we will do that. So, all right, let's get kickstarted. So we are Sabio. Been around almost 9 years now. So we're actually definitely one of the older boot camps out there, a top tier training program for software engineering. So we've been doing this a while, and we've had some amazing alumni come out, do some great things, and we're just excited to continue this and continue and usher in 2022 with Sabio and our future alumni. So we're excited to see what 2022 brings. This industry is exploding. So it'll be very, very fun to watch this next year. So we shall see. All right, let's get going. So this first slide here is really a slide that lets you know where your instructors have come from. Of course, they've been at more companies than just this. We just put some big names on there that are very, very recognizable. So I like this slide because this type of training isn't like your normal university English 101 class. It is a boot camp. It is specifically geared towards getting you amazing training and relevant training, and then more importantly, getting you a job out there into the industry, which you'll see through these slides. So I like this slide because it really gives you an idea of where your instructors have come from. They've been in your shoes before, and they know how to point you in the right direction to get out there and start working. I also like this slide too because it gives you an idea how broad this industry is. I mean, from IKEA to Fox to Facebook, I don't know how different those companies can be. So it gives you a good idea. Hey, if there's a company out there that wants any kind of relevance, anything like that out there, they need engineers, they need developers, software engineers and developers. So I like this slide, kind of gives you an idea there. This next one here gives you an idea what they look like. So there's their faces. You see Zach there on the slide. It all starts with Gregorio. Gregorio is actually our CTO here, and he runs all of the curriculum, the instructors, and and all the tech stuff that you do see. He is actually our co-founder. So he's co-founded with Liliana, his wife Liliana. Liliana is our CEO, where he is, again, our CTO. But I like this slide too. This gives you an idea of how much experience they have. But one thing I think these guys do a great job of is all-day access. And you see that highlighted there at the bottom in the middle. We are 100% live remote due to COVID right now. So you will not have to step foot into a class at all. We used to years ago, if I can say that now, years ago. But we are 100% live remote due to COVID. So I think there's a little bit of a dark cloud over online learning, especially for something like this, especially if it's new to you. There's a little bit of fear. We want to reiterate that, hey, we're here for you guys. Our instructors are accessible. Yes, you're going to have tons of questions, and yes, they will get answered. It's actually geared towards that to be able to answer your questions. Also, you're not going to get lost in the shuffle. We built this to mimic what you're going to see out there in the industry. So you're going to be on a good sized team, but that's done on purpose. So we are here for you. We understand this is all new to a lot of people, but the accessibility to our instructors is amazing. So these guys have a ton of passion too, to really get you trained, get you out there, and they understand why you're here. You're here to get a job. You're here to get this training and get out there and start in your career. So accessibility, these guys, is 100% focus. So, all right, and these next two slides are really just licensing slides. I think state licensing is something important you should go over, especially if you're shopping around looking at different boot camps. No, not all boot camps are state licensed, so they can actually do things to avoid that, which is unfortunate. So they don't have to be state licensed to teach, and then more importantly, charge you for it. But we are state licensed, so we're real proud of that. One thing that comes from state licensing that we're also very proud of is being able to be a school that provides a place for veterans to go to use their VA benefits. So we are super proud of this. We take this very, very seriously, and we are happy that when veterans come here. We have a great relationship with the VA. I bulleted some really popular programs that are going on right now, especially Vet Tech. Vet Tech is hot, absolutely 100% on fire right now. So if you're a veteran on the call, please log a one-on-one with us in admission, so we can dive into a little bit more with you and really go over the details on what you need to get in and all of that. So definitely encourage you to schedule one-on-one. But we are state licensed, so just a little layer of protection there for you. And then we're actually going a little above and beyond with accreditation as well to kind of put that icing on the cake. This is really something you probably see more so at the university, community college level, maybe in some medical, healthcare, career schools, but we are actually going to be one of the first boot camps to be accredited. These guys go way deeper than state licensing. They look at us as a school, but also as a business. This has actually been a 1.5-year process, and we're at the tail end of it. So we should be accredited here by hopefully spring of 2022, and it's going really, really well. So really cool benefits come along with this in the future, a little bit of a probation period after getting accredited. But again, a little extra layer of protection there for our students. So we're pretty excited about this one. All right, let's do it. Okay, while you guys are here, the technical training. So broke it down into 3 phases. Phase 1 really being kind of where you're at right now. We titled that one pre-work. We'll dive into that. Phase 2, really what is it like as a student and how does that look? So schedule, cost, the tech stuff, we'll go over all that fun stuff. And then phase 3, what does it look like as an alumni? How does your relationship continue with us even after you graduate? Now in all 3 of these phases, you're going to see your expert instructors are highly involved all the way from the start all the way to the finish, even after, and even right now. We got Zach on here, an instructor. So they are very, very much involved with you all the way through, want to really see you succeed and get out there and do some great things. So we're also going to go over some financing options, some scholarships, some success rates, really a couple cool slides at the end. We'll go over how many of our students, what's our percentage of success rate of students who are finding jobs, and then what are they making? We'll go over that too. And then also, of course, at the end, we'll end it with next steps. So where to go from here. All right, let's go. Phase 1, pre-work. So what is that? So first off, phase 1, again, is really where you're at right now. Getting information. You're not quite a student yet, kind of dabbling in this stuff, seeing if it's for you. But there, within this phase 1 pre-work, there are 2 free self-paced classes that you can enroll into right now. Again, they are free and self-paced. So please enroll into those if you haven't already. A lot of great things come with that once you enroll. So once you do enroll into one of those classes, well, first off, one of the classes is called pre-work and the other one's JS Foundation. So look out for those on our website. There's also another one, HTML and CSS too, which we encourage you to hop into as well. So good handful of free classes that are, again, I said it again, it's like the fifth time I said it, free and self-pay. So very, very nice stuff there, but it's all basic, very bottom line stuff to kind of lay some foundation so it can prepare you for the main 13-week full stack program. Now, once you enroll into one of those classes, some things are going to happen. One big thing is you're going to get an invitation to our Slack channel. It's Pre-Work Online Help Slack channel. Please accept that invitation. Kind of gets your foot in the door here to be able to get questions answered when it comes to your pre-work. You see, as much as you may or may not want to, you see some announcements from me on enrolling, start dates and stuff like that, but we will not blow you up with messages. It's really there for you to go and get some help through pre-work. So once you get that Slack invitation, you'll get in there. Also in that Slack invitation, you're going to see a link pop up on those days that you see there. Zach, I'll kind of let you talk about your office hours here real quick.
Absolutely. So as you're doing these self-paced courses, these free courses for you, you might have some troubles going along the way, or not understanding something, not understanding the code, needing a hand, needing help with installation or whatever the case may be. So these office hours here are provided that I will do with you guys every week, Monday and Wednesday at 5, and then Tuesday and Thursday at 10:30. And what this allows you to do is come in and get those questions answered. Hey, I don't know what to do with this code. It's broken. I might have messed something up. I'm confused about this. I need explanation, whatever the case may be. You bring your problems my way, and it's unstructured. So you guys just come on in. I will talk to you, help you with the code, explain things, and then go on from there.
So you mean to tell me they get free training and free help from a real instructor at Sabio?
Yeah.
All free.
They get free instructor training.
Awesome. I just want to say that one
Monday,
more
Tuesday,
time.
Wednesday, Thursday.
All right. Very cool. So 4 days a week, you got help there to get through those free classes. So please look into that. So what do these classes do besides, lay some foundation for you and kind of get you ready and give you an idea if this is for you, and then get to talk to Zach? What else does it do? It gets you ready for a tech assessment. So there is a tech assessment that you do have to pass before you can continue on into our main 13-week full stack program. So these classes will prepare you for that. Zach, yeah, I'm going to touch on you. Oh, he went by, but you got the cue going. He's double working right now.
I just accidentally hit the microphone or video instead of microphone.
Oh yeah, Zach, you kind of want to brush over this. I know you proctor that, so do you mind going over that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So the assessment, what the assessment is just a comprehension assessment, right? So I want to see how things went for you and how you are picking up on things. It's going to be a culmination of everything you're learning in your pre-work online, your self-paced free courses. So a combination of HTML, JavaScript, and then everything else you'll learn in those free courses as well. So it's not like you need to pass, 9 out of 10 things, or it's really like, graded like that. It's more, hey, do you comprehend what's supposed to be happening here? Do you understand the code? Do you understand the foundations? And then that's it.
Perfect. Awesome. So the nice thing is if you don't pass, you can retake it. Zach will work with you. I don't know if you mentioned that, but you can retake it. So it's not really a stone wall to stop you from getting in the program. It's really just to give yourself an idea, and also the instructors like, hey, you got some basic foundation to be able to hit the ground running when you start the 13-week. Connor, I'm going to touch on you, man. You went through pre-work. How was it? What was your experience through pre-work? I think you might have did the 17-week program. I can't remember, but still, you went through pre-work. So how was it for you?
Yeah, totally. I did go through the 17-week program. I did a portion of the courses prior to entering the 17-week as well. So I had a little bit of experience with both. I guess my main take from it is get help from the instructors. There's office hours now for the self-paced environment to get with Zach. That's going to help you get through. There's little things that you'll run into, like a bug, and you won't understand what to do with it. Maybe it's a little bit confusing. Zach will help you get past that, help you understand the material more. And the assessment really isn't that bad. It's just a culmination of what you've learned. You read through it, work through it. Yes, it is timed. It's not, you get like 4 hours and you just keep working on it. It's nothing too crazy. And yeah, there's all these resources that'll help you get through it. So online, one-on-one, definitely use every resource available to you.
Awesome. Connor, how many years of experience software engineering did you have before you started your pre-work classes?
I had minimal in HTML and CSS. So I was good at both of those, but as far as JavaScript, I had 0. So
Yeah.
and the JavaScript is the bigger portion of it. So
Perfect.
not very much. And yeah,
Okay.
it's the courses are super helpful, super easygoing.
Awesome. And then I know Zach had none, no experience coming in, so didn't even know what an HTML was and where it came from. So I know that for a fact. So the point is you don't need to have any experience. This is the point of these free self-paced classes. So please enroll into those. And it also gives you an idea, like, hey, I know a buddy that does this, makes buco bucks, and it seems like he never works. What is he doing? That gives you an opportunity to see, okay, is this for me? Do you see yourself doing this as a career? So even if you aren't planning on enrolling in our January start or February one, even still do it. Gives you an idea of what this is all about and kind of gets you into the Sabio community a little bit. So awesome. Thank you, Connor and Zach. Appreciate it. All right. So continuing on now, I will say this. Connor mentioned a 17-week program. I'll go over that here in just a second. A really nice option for students. But the point is he still had to go through the pre-work and pass that tech assessment. But I'll go over the 17-week here in a second. Awesome. So phase 2, so you've been through phase 1, you went through the pre-work, you utilized office hours, you passed that tech assessment. Okay, what now? So you select a start date. So what is our next start date? Our next start date is Monday. So it is coming up. On average, Zach, what, about 2 weeks to get through pre-work if you're planning on doing it self-paced?
Yeah, self-paced usually takes about 2.5 weeks to get done. And that's if you're doing it every night, still working a part-time job. That's what I did. That's what a lot of people do. Just getting prepped for it. But I would say 2 to 2.5 weeks, look at doing that and then requesting assessment as soon as you're ready.
Right on. So I wouldn't think you'd be able, if you're going to do the phase 1 on your own, self-paced, don't think you have enough time to get into our Monday. I wouldn't want you to rush it and try to get in, but we'll have another option for you if you really want to start January 17th. So, and I'll go over that in a second, but you select a start date. Our next one's January 17th. The one after that's February 21st. I will say this, we have a start every month, which is pretty cool. And I'll kind of touch on that here in a second of why we do that, but we don't want you to miss a start and then have to wait months and months to get going. So we do have a start every month, which is pretty cool. So you select your start date and then figure out how to pay for school. How are you going to do it? So cost of the program is $15,000. Pretty straightforward, pretty competitive. Actually, probably one of the cheaper ones out there for this caliber of training. I don't think we've changed the cost of our tuition in years. So that is a speed bump for a lot of people. Naturally, I mean, paying for school is something we all have to think about. But you're going to see here in a handful of slides, we got some financing options. Again, we work with the veteran VA benefits. We have some scholarships. And then so you'll see some ways to really alleviate that, and we'll work with you, try to figure that out. So $15,000, but honestly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The biggest speed bump for people is that time commitment. So that middle slot there. So you're kind of reading through it already and you're like, okay, when do I work? Well, you don't. It is an intense schedule. This is live remote. These aren't recordings. Before I dive into the hours and all that, you really have to look at this as when I start this program, I'm starting my career. So you really have to look at it like that. We don't have part-time. We did for a while, off and on. We just couldn't fill cohorts. Same reason why people want part-time is the same reason why people had a hard time starting and finishing. They're busy. And this is definitely something you need to see every day to really be successful. So this has been tried and true. This schedule is ultimately the best way to set you up for success and get you out there very, very quickly, making very, very good money right away. So you'll see that. But so what is the commitment? Is a 13-week commitment. I will go over 17-week here in a sec. It is 70 to 80 hours a week. That it includes homework time. It is 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, Pacific Standard Time. And that is Pacific Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast, got to play with that PST time. So midnight is your log off time. So it is a little tougher for our East Coasters, but there's coffee and tea out there for you available. Then Saturday, 9 to 3 Pacific Standard Time as well on that Saturday. And that really is your day to code. Obviously, you're going to be working, but it's really your day to do homework, catch up if you need to. There might be some tasks that you need to do on that Saturday. So, but that is the schedule. So we do not encourage working. Matter of fact, it's impossible. So we've had people try to do a part-time thing, sneak in some hours here and there. Not real doable at all. So again, look at this as, hey, when you start this program, you're starting your career, basically. And this is also a reason why we have a start every month. We get it. You got to save up money, figure out work, get some support at home really make this work. So we want that accessible to you every month throughout the year. So we do have a start every month. Again, I'll go with 17-week here in a second. Day to day, what does that look like? I can tell you right now, the day to day goes by really, really quick. Zach, you kind of want to touch on the day to day deal, what they're going to be seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. So day to day here at Sabio, every morning you're going to meet with your instructors, called a morning stand-up meeting. This is an industry standard meeting. All right, traditionally you'd actually stand up and talk about, hey, this is a code I've completed in the last 24 hours. This is a code I will complete in the next 24 hours. And these are the issues I had in between. Your instructors then are going to give you tasks, talk about your code, review your code, and speak with you guys in the morning about what you should do for the next day. That's every morning, Monday through Friday, you'll meet with your instructors. And then you'll be coding the rest of the day. All right, so once that's done, you're off coding your tasks. And then you take your lunch break, and then you're off coding your tasks again until your instructors might give you a lecture or a code review, or you'll meet up with your group and then go through code together. And then once you're onto your project-based stuff, that becomes a whole different ballgame, because now you're going to be operating as a real engineer. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But that's your day-to-day here at Sabio. You have plenty of time for breaks, which is nice, because we know how stressful it is to sit in front of a computer for 12 hours a day. So definitely get up, walk around every hour, stretch out, get some food, things like that. We got you covered.
Awesome. Yeah, and you will have lunch breaks, dinner break, all that stuff. We get it, life's going on. You got a doctor's appointment. Just all about communication with your instructor, and remember that Saturday is really there for you to catch up if you need, if you took an hour or so as a doctor's appointment. Also, we understand a lot of people pick up their kids around the end of school time, so that's okay. We get that. So again, boils down to communication there. Connor, the day-to-day for you, the program itself, let us in on that. Did the program drag, or did it go by fast?
I mean, the program flies. You're in it every day. You're constantly learning new things, and then you get to the project and you're building one feature, and the second that feature is built, you're moving on to the next. So the pace is pretty quick, but it keeps things interesting, I think. As far as the day-to-day, like Zach explained, it's very similar to your work environment. My workday essentially consists of the same exact thing, except I end at 5. So there's really not much different from what you're going to be doing in Sabio, what you're going to be doing in the workforce. And that's actually super helpful as well, because there are people who are self-taught coders, and when they apply for jobs, they have no idea what a Scrum meeting is. They have no idea what a stand-up meeting is. They have no idea how to participate in that. And you learn these things through Sabio, and that actually gives you an up in the market as well.
Awesome. Great points. Yeah. And so it sounds like you work less now than you did when you were in Sabio. So we prepped you nicely. Totally. Yeah. No more 70 to 80 hour work weeks. So very cool. Yeah. And Connor touched on that. We try to mirror what you're going to see out there in the industry almost to a T. So you're ready to go, especially in those interviews and stuff. So, and we'll go over that here in a sec. I'm going to double back on the 17-week. I am going to open it up for some general questions for Zach and Connor and myself here. So feel free to use it. We got an okay bunch amount of people, so feel free to use the chat. I find it's a little easier to organize it. But I'm going to go over the 17-week while you're thinking of a question and typing it. And if I don't see any questions pop in, I'll just keep cruising. But 17-week program. So what is that? It is the 13-week program, same curriculum and everything, except the first 4 weeks of the 17-week, you are basically with Zach all day, Monday through Saturday, and going through pre-work. You want to touch on that, Zach, real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So the 17-week program, instead of doing it by yourself, you might want a little bit more guidance. You might want more instructor time, hands-on training with me. And that's what you're going to get. So every day you'll meet with me during those morning stand-up meetings that we talked about. And then you're going to be coding, and then you'll have me with the queue all day long. So any questions you have all day, I'm there helping you guys out, talking to you guys. And then I like to give a lecture to my students every single day based off what you're currently coding. All right, so where you should be at in the course is where we're going to be at in the lecture. Whether it be HTML and CSS or JavaScript or any of the things we're going to discuss here in a moment, you'll have me every day lecturing you, teaching you how to do things, and showing you new items.
Perfect. Yeah. So first 4 weeks, you are with Zach doing exactly what he just said, except you're going to be doing the pre-work and getting ready and passing that tech assessment in the first 4 weeks. So if you're somebody that looks at phase 1 and you're like, no way, Robert, I know this is something I want to do. I just don't want to do it on my own. If you're like me, if you love procrastination, if you say, hey, I'm going to start January 2022, it's going to be more like 2023. So if you want that push, that help, 17-week is for you. Very, very popular option. You are in a cohort with other 17-weekers, so you're not out of place. you start the same day as 13 weeks. So you start every month, and it costs the same. Really, the only difference is you're going to graduate 4 weeks later. So like I think Zach touched on, the first 4-week hours are a little bit more lenient, right? More of a 9 to 6, Zach?
Yeah, absolutely. So we understand that 17 weeks is a lot longer time. So 9 to 9 really kind of burns you out too quick, or we don't want it to burn you out too quick. So we actually dial it back to 9 to 6 on those days. And 9 to 6 is when you'll have me as your instructor there every day too. So that's my office hours with you guys personally, and you'll have me there.
Perfect. Perfect. So 17-week, very, very popular option. So I didn't see any questions pop in the chat. If you think of any as I'm going through, I'll read them out loud so I can answer them. But a lot of info on this slide. So if you're thinking, even after this info session, you're thinking of some questions and stuff, that's where that one-on-one in the chat is for. I definitely encourage you to click that link and schedule it. But if you think of any general questions, feel free to type them in the chat as I go through. So I'll keep cruising. Zach walked away, but this, oh, whew, he's back. He's a busy guy, everyone. So he's actually in what's called the queue, answering questions. So he's a busy dude today. So we are thankful he's here. But Zach, do you want to go over what they're going to be
Absolutely.
seeing as far as the tech skills? Yeah.
Yeah. So why am I here? What did I come to Sabio for? What am I going to learn? This is what it's like to be here at Sabio. You're going to become a full stack web developer, full stack software engineer, whatever you want to call it. Full stack web developer, though. What that means is that I'm now an engineer or a developer who can do front end, server side, and database programming languages. All right, so we're going to teach you the whole spectrum of it. Now, if this all looks super unfamiliar and looks insane to read and you don't understand it, that's totally okay, because by the end of this, you're going to be totally proficient in these items here. So we're going to start out with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the first 4 weeks of your training. All right, these are all foundational level languages here. All right, so HTML, we're going to learn how to structure an HTML web page. All right, CSS, we're going to learn how to style and make changes to it utilizing Bootstrap as well, which Bootstrap is a library from Twitter, which allows us to style in certain components and make them look really nice for us. And then JavaScript. All right, what's going to happen when users click around on your page? All right, how do we want to render things on our page? What do we want to render? This is going to be the first 4 weeks. And then we're going to move on to our more advanced programming languages, such as React, which is a front-end library for JavaScript made by Facebook. All right, it's probably the most popular language in the world. .NET C#. All right, these are your server-side rendering tools and languages here. All right, so they're object-oriented programming languages. We'll learn what that is too as we go through the course. And then our database design and development, we use Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. All right, so we're going to learn how to store data, put data in database tables, relational database tables, all these nice things right here. This is what it means to be a full stack developer, right? So I said front end, middle tier, and back end all combined. Now, more importantly, just as importantly, we're going to learn something called APIs. All right, APIs are what's going to allow our software to talk with other businesses' software. All right, this is a very, very important part about being a developer. So SendGrid down there is probably the biggest email sending service that there is. All the subscription emails you get likely come from SendGrid. Amazon has thousands and thousands of microservices you can utilize to make your software more compatible with what you want to do for your employment. Stripe is financing. Google, we do a ton of these things. When you bring this to your future employer, they're gonna be like, wow, this is way more than I was expecting you to know. You already know how to do API integration, which is amazing too. You're muted, Rob.
Sorry, I'm mute. There I am. So yeah, APIs, those little extra icings on the cake there, especially you take with you to your interview. This really sets you apart from everybody. I think even Connor touched on it too, along with Zach. So with the .NET C# or Node.js, I will kind of double back on that. You choose one or the other. You really do your research, see which one you like best, what fits you best. Both are great, both are relevant. You don't have to decide right away. You can pick your instructor's brain a little bit on which one's better. You're going to find some of them have a preference, but both are great, and do your research on that and see what route you want to go there. So I got some questions coming in the chat, which is awesome. So Michael asked everybody, and it might be geared more towards Zach or Connor. I'd be interested to hear about some common pitfalls. This is from Michael to everyone, so I'll read out. I'd be interested to hear about some common pitfalls to avoid that you've seen students make that can cause them to struggle in the class or coursework. Zach, I don't know. I'll let you, either one of you guys, answer that one. I would say time management is the ultimate pitfall. I mean, from my point of view on that. More of a day-to-day, Zach, what do you see?
It's really relative to what you're doing. but all I can say is that regardless, your instructors will help you through it, no matter what pitfalls you're currently facing, because we do this every day, and we know how to get you guys out of whatever holes you think you may be in. So I'd say it's really relative to what we're doing, but we're gonna have your back either way.
Yep. I would honestly, the biggest common pitfall is the time management. You saw how intense the schedule is. You really have to say, hey, when I start this, I'm devoted. Of course, life's going to keep going on, and it's communication with your instructor. But to really make sure this is something you want to do and really devote your time to it is probably the biggest pitfall we see. People falling behind. You're going to have problems. You're going to have questions. That's normal when it comes to the work itself. But that time management piece is pretty important. So get a calendar, get something going, or whatever you like to use to stay organized. So good question. Nima, I think you are actually, I think your name's popped up before as far as looking at enrolling soon. So welcome to the info session. But I said, I see that you wrote to everyone. I saw knockout.js in catalog, but website says React. Can you please confirm?
So what we're going to be doing there is the main stack that we're going to be training on is a React, C#, and SQL. You might see a little bit of Knockout.js, but no, our primary languages that we'll be learning are React.js.
There you go. Good question. All right, I'll keep cruising. Okay, phase 2, project-based learning. So this right here is really what separates Sabio from almost all the other boot camps. And it's this stuff right here. So the project-based learning environment, Zach kind of touched on it already. By week 4 or 5, you're going to be a professional. You're going to be a software engineer, you're going to be a coder, you're going to be ready to rock and roll, basically. So first 4 to 5 weeks, you're going to be learning your language, be dialing in there. By week 4 or 5, you're going to start putting it to practice. And now you'll be working on a real startup project with an actual entrepreneur company. So an outside company that has come to Sabio. It's taking advantage of our mentorship program that we do offer, but it's going to be a startup environment. And this is where you get the real life feel, the real what you're going to see out there in your career after Sabio. We start putting it to use all the way from the stand-ups to how questions are answered. We use Slack, Trello boards. I mean, everything you see is going to be hopefully and ideally mirror what you're going to see out there in your career field. And it's exciting. So you don't know what your project's going to be before you start, but I can tell you it's going to be relevant. It's going to be important. It's going to be cool. And more importantly, it's going to be yours, and it's going to be out in market long after you graduate here. So you'll be able to put that on your resume. Zach and Connor, Zach, you can go first. What was your project, and how did that work out?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to build a business resource portal for the city of Los Angeles. So all startup businesses and entrepreneurs inside the city of Los Angeles that needed some help with either zoning or legal or finance or employment or whatever the case may be, they would go to this business resource portal, and we would return them all the available resources that deal with that based off an algorithm that we had to write. So that's what I did. I got to give my product demonstration at the mayor's office in downtown Los Angeles. And I was talking to the deputy director of the mayor because she was a product owner. And that's what I got to do. So everything we do here at Sabio is going to be an amazing project. Connor, what was yours?
Connor, go ahead. Sorry, I keep forgetting I'm on mute. Go ahead, Connor.
Good. I did work for Voto for Voto. It is it's a voting demographics and analytics type website. So you would look at demographic information, business information, and then different voter statistics, and that this app would integrate all that information for campaigners to make business decisions about their campaign. Yeah, I got to work on site security for that, as well as building these graphs that would show demographic information from a different public source in Mexico, and then integrate that information to visual graphs.
And even after graduation, it's still out there, right?
Yep,
still being
still
used.
going.
Yep. And you guys were able to put that on your resume and speak to it as if you were an employee at that company, getting that experience. So that's really cool. Now, with this is the whole idea with Sabio, and how we take you from knowing nothing to entry level to, by the time you're done with this program, you're now mid-level. So when you're done with Sabio, you're not entry level at all. You are mid-level, and you have that negotiation power. And this is why, and this is what really does that for you. It kind of launches you ahead above everybody else, along with those APIs Zach talked about, just some extra credit. We're also going to go over soft skills too, just a little more extra credit just to kind of give you that nudge above everybody else. So pretty cool stuff here. All right, here are those soft skills I just talked about. So since this is going to be so real life, and we're going to treat it like you're an employee, because you are, you're naturally, organically going to learn the soft skills. And these are really those hireable stuff that kind of go unmentioned, sometimes even untaught at schools. And that's really learning how to communicate, the agile scrum methodologies, how to work as a team, the product development life cycle, all geared and developed and taught in a way that you're going to see out there in the industry. So again, just a little bit more extra credit there, a little extra. Go ahead and bring that on over and we'll pay for it. So it's just a little bit of extra stuff that you can add on there in your interviews and on your resume too. All right, so this is so you see phase 2. So we're still in student mode right now. Phase 2, and you see the giant word job. So no, we do not wait for you to graduate and then give you a resume template and say, hey, good luck. We don't play that game. We don't operate that way. We know why you're here. I said it before. We know why you're here. It's to get that great training, and then more importantly, get out there and get a job and start your career in this stuff. So that's our focus, and we take it very, very serious. So about 2 weeks-ish, 2 weeks before graduation, we begin this whole process. And it's, I don't know, I've heard it's intense. I've heard it's more intense than the actual interviews. But Zach, I'll kind of let you kick it off, and then Connor after Zach. Do you want to kind of talk how this worked for you? So Zach, do you kind of want to touch on, because I know you went through this too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a massive part of what we do here at Sabio, is this whole phase right here. So interview prep, we have like the latest industry standard review questions that are coming straight from employers, because a lot of our students are actively interviewing and just got jobs or have jobs and know what's being asked. So we're going to give you the latest and greatest tools and huge resource to study from. Resume workshops, as Rob said, we're not going to give you a template and send you on your way. All right, we're going to read your resume line by line and tailor it to what you did on the project here at Sabio and tailor it to what you want to do outside of Sabio. All right, so it's going to be handwritten, reviewed line by line by your instructors, probably kicked back once or twice, just to make sure it's perfect going out in the workforce. Mock interviews, the most important thing we do here. All right, these are very, very important for us, because we know that you probably haven't interviewed as a developer before. All right, so we want to train you on, hey, can I write code on pen and paper? Can I write code on a whiteboard? Can I translate my professional skills to that as a developer? Can I talk about what I did on my project as a developer properly? All right. These are very important, because a lot of times what happens is that students will actually get interviews while they're still here at Sabio. It's very common. It's not uncommon at all that you have an interview with a real life employer before you're done here at Sabio. All right. So that mock interview is going to shake off the rust and make sure you're totally ready for what you need to say. And then referrals, we have amazing alumni that have connections everywhere.
Perfect. Yes, connections. That helps. Connor, you want to kind of go over how this worked for you? Did you find it beneficial?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get help from every direction. I had Liliana help me with my LinkedIn. I had instructors go over my resume, did mock interviews. The mock interviews are huge. Like, it's exactly like an interview is going to be. They kind of hit everything. There's interviews that are less intense than the mock interviews, and that gives you the confidence going in to know that you can start to nail those interviews as you go forward. Referrals as well. I know I've been seeing a lot of activity in the jobs board recently. There's people throwing out information for jobs saying like, hey, come apply to my company. I know a couple people are applying to my company right now who've reached out to me, and I've just been handing them information on the interview process. Like, you have all these resources in the community as well to help you. And Sabio absolutely wants you to succeed and get a job. So you know that you have that. You have all of your teachers behind you. You have some of the administrative staff jumping in with you. It's a lot more than you'll get elsewhere. And that's really been huge for my story and for a lot of people I know as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Connor. I know we get questions, Zach. I know, again, you're busy on the queue, but the stuff at the bottom. So I know Ruby and Python and stuff. What does all that mean down there?
Absolutely. So even though we're not going to be training you specifically on these languages, such as Ruby, Python, Java, what you learn with the .NET and the C# is called object-oriented programming. All right. So foundationally, it doesn't change too much between other languages. So Once you learn one language, you're pretty attuned to picking up other languages and understanding the fundamentals of those languages. So sometimes you can get hard for a job writing a language that you've never written before, just because they know, oh, they already know how to write this language and they're proficient in it. Picking up this one won't be so hard. All right, so that does happen too.
Perfect. Very good. Awesome. So job, very, very important to us. All right. So you've gone through phase one, you did the pre-work, passed the tech assessment, you came in, killed it as a student, you are ready, you even got a job interview, heck, might even have a job offer. What now? What is life for you? We want to stay connected. So we believe it's an advantage graduating here at Sabio. And a couple of call outs there are mentorships and meetups. So first off, mentorships. Yeah, we're here for a lifetime. So as long as you want to stay connected to Sabio, we're here to mentor you through your career. Salary negotiations, we take seriously. If you want to utilize that, remember, you don't have to come out of here as a junior. You have some negotiation power. We can help you through all that. We believe all Sabio grads deserve the top dollar, so we'll help you through that. Also, you're going to graduate here, go on, do some great things, and you might get itchy. You might be like, man, I got an idea for a business, or I got something I got cooking in my brain here. I want to get it out there. Come back and utilize our mentorship program. This is where you can kind of see that circle close, right? Alumni's helping students kind of thing. So your future startup may be a future cohorts project. You never know. So please stay connected, stay in that, utilize our mentorship. Also meetups. So you enroll into this stuff and you make this your career, this industry your career, you're basically signing up to be a professional student the rest of your career. So staying relevant, staying on top of stuff, staying up to date. Utilize our weekly meetups, hackathons. We have guest speakers come on quite a bit. Stay connected. Liliana and Gregoria have done an amazing job creating a community, not to get too cheesy, but a family, if you will, to always come back to and get help. Heaven forbid you lose your job in the future and you're having a hard time finding work. Come back, utilize us, take advantage of that for sure. We're here to help. We do believe it's an advantage graduating here because it really is a community, really is kind of a family. And who knows, maybe someday come on to some of these info sessions with me. Might be fun. All right, cool. All right, so let's talk about some fun slides here. These are really those igniters, kind of those things that are like, oh, wow, okay, now I see why people are doing this stuff. So, and going through Sabio. So this is a slide, a cool slide here. This is we're actually at 82, 83% success rate. This is a career in tech success rate. So out of our graduates, 82, we're actually closer to 83% of our students find full-time employment in the tech industry. Now this is specific to Sabio. I point that out on purpose because the national average is great for boot camps. It's like 79, 80%. But if you are shopping around, looking at other boot camps, going to info sessions, ask, hey, is this specific to your school? Not just the national average, but we are a tick higher than the national average, which is pretty cool. Now remember, this is full-time employment. This isn't self-hires, internships, intern pay, part-time. We don't play that game. It is a career in tech and it is full-time employment. So yeah, pretty cool number here. Oh, and then we got people that I always get asked, what about the 17 or 18%, the glass half empty kind of thing? Sure, yeah, we get students that do this for fun. We get students that are already in their career, already doing this, and just need to kind of beef that up a little bit. And then we have students who are like, hey, thanks for the training, I got it from here, and just kind of say, I got it. And that's totally okay. But if you are committed and you are willing to go all the way through and then also take advantage of everything we offer, the odds are in your favor there. So we'll do the same. We're very passionate about getting our students jobs. So awesome, cool slide here. And then the next one, the money. So before I dive into this, yes, no secret, this is a lucrative career. No, you don't need a degree to do this. You just need experience. That's what you get with Sabio. But before I really go into the dollars and cents, yeah, it is lucrative, but make sure this is something you want to do. This isn't for everybody. Do your research. There's lots of great YouTube videos on the life of a software engineer or a developer. Check it out. Also do the pre-work. See if this is for you. Dip your toe in it. Even if you are looking at the 17-week program, still dip your toe in the pre-work. See if it's something you want to do. So, but it is lucrative. Yes. So the high end, I don't want to paint an unrealistic picture here for you, but yes, those high end numbers are absolutely obtainable, more so within your first year, I would say. Get some experience on your belt. It takes a little bit of time for companies to say, oh, wow, you bring a lot to the table. Let me pay you for that. a lot. And remember, this is also a trade. So the longer you do this, the more you're going to learn, the more you're going to put on your portfolio, the more you're inevitably going to make. So very, very cool in that aspect. Now also profit sharing too, very, very popular in this industry. So companies realize how important developers and engineers are in their revenue. So they're willing to give parts of their company shares and all kinds of different cool things that come along with that pay. But the most common, let's check that out. Still, it's not chump change, 65 to 75K a year. We're more so probably at the 72, 75K. This is actually a national average for the most common. But when you're talking a 13 or 17 week commitment, totally new stuff to you, coming out making that, the light at the end of the tunnel, return on investment is pretty nice there. Now we don't inflate these with the Silicon Valley inflated amount that they make, because they make in Silicon Valley. They live in California and Silicon Valley. We don't use those to inflate these numbers, and this is an average, not a median. So pretty nice numbers there. Zach, and also Connor, after Zach, if you want to chime in too, is this a pretty realistic slide? Is this kind of what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, right now I've had 3 or 4 students in the last month or two make their first job at 80, and then I've had 2 make 96 at their first jobs ever after Sabio.
That's great. That's awesome.
So it's definitely going up a little bit. But I would say on average, be prepared to get that $65,000 to $75,000 range for your first gig. But they're going to realize shortly after you get there, all right, that after Sabio training, we prepared you correctly, and they're going to think, oh, you're worth more than that, and we want to keep you around. So you might get pushed up to that 90, 100 salary before you know it.
Yep, bingo. Connor, you seen this about there? You don't have to say what you make now or anything like that, but just pretty relative.
For sure, yeah, I agree with Zach. I've seen kind of the same thing in the industry. It's very common to make between 65 to 75, but there are people coming out of Sabio pushing a bit higher than that as well.
Very cool, awesome. But again, make sure this is what you want to do. It's not for everybody, but very lucrative, and it's nice coming out of a 13 to 17 week commitment. Okay, let's go over. And I'm almost done, guys. Financing options and some scholarships. So I'll go over scholarships real quick. We have one that's $1,125. That's 2 scholarships combined, so you get $125 scholarship off the cost of tuition for going to this. You're already tagged. Good job. Thanks for coming out. And then you also get a $1,000 scholarship if you pass the tech assessment, and or enroll into the 17 week, because eventually you're going to pass the tech assessment. So $1,125 there, a little bit of an application to fill out, and then you get that. I'm going to coin that the guys scholarship right now. So if you look to the right, we have a very nice women in tech scholarship. So $5,500 if you identify as a lady. Boom, you get $5,500. Just a little bit of an application to fill out with that. A little bit of we're just trying to light some fire. It's no secret that this industry has been male dominated for like ever. So we're trying to change that. A lot of talent out there, men and women, and it's working. So we're starting to see more ladies enroll into the program and look it out. No, you cannot combine the two. It's one or the other. And this is off the cost of tuition. So this isn't necessarily money in your pocket. I say that just for veterans. You can fill out the application if you want. The VA will thank you. It's really just, again, off the top of tuition, no money in your pocket, and no money at other schools as well. So really just to help with that cost here. Real quick. Okay, hold on one second on the veteran benefit. I'll get right to that here in just a sec. Ascend and Sallie Mae are some educational loans that we work with. Check them out. They're awesome. Great interest rate. Very quick and easy communication between us and them and paying the school. Also credit card pay. I think Sallie Mae, going back to Sallie Mae and Ascend, Sallie Mae I think does some living expenses too, which is really nice. And then Ascend I think does some defer pay options as well. Those are credit bearing, but they're very beneficial. Also credit card payment too, if you want to, debit card, we'll take it. If you want to pay up front, sure, we'll take it, or money down even too as well. But also we also offer a defer pay option too as well. Before I dive into that, let me back up a little bit. If you decide to do the defer pay option, it's very beneficial, a lot of great things with it. You do have to forfeit the scholarship. So you cannot combine defer pay and the scholarships at the same time. But if you need a loan offering and you want to utilize the scholarships, Ascend and Sallie Mae is there for you, and you can still use the scholarships. But all right, defer pay option, very popular route. A lot of students like to go. So what is it? It's basically, hey, you don't owe us a dime until after you graduate and find your first full-time tech job, which we help you get. So how it works is you enroll with us, say, yeah, I want to do the deferred pay option. Great. You can put money down. I'll go over that here in a second. If you don't want to put any money down, totally fine. Start the program. We front the bill. We train you. We help you get your first tech job. And on your second paycheck of your first tech job, you begin the 60-month payment plan back. So it's incremental every year. We don't want to pile a big payment on you the first year of your career. So it's $199 a month the first year. Second year, it's $300 a month. Year 3 is $400 a month, and year 4 and 5 is $500 a month. Going 60 payments there. Now you can go the life of that 60 payments. Feel free. There is interest. It's about 10% APR if you go the life of the loan there. And so that $15K turns into about $19,400-ish. Now you can avoid interest. You can pay it off early, which you've seen what you potentially can be making when you're out of here. Students like to go that route. Or, which is a little, ironically, a little more popular, is $5,000 cash down on the program will get you 0% APR on the remaining $10,000 balance. So if you're able to put $5,000 or more down, 0%. You just follow that payment plan till the 0% amount is paid off. So that's a very popular route. A couple cool things. Call it on the deferred pays. It's not credit bearing. We won't run your credit. We'll take your info for obvious reasons. It is a loan, but we won't run your credit. If you happen to lose your job, we'll go ahead and pause the payments for you. You don't have to until you get back on your feet, and then you can pick those payments back up. So a couple cool things there with that. If you want to dive into that a little bit more, feel free to, again, log that one-on-one, and we can dive into those financing options there for you. Then we did have a question. So Michael's asking everyone, I have a question specifically related to veteran benefits. Would you prefer I ask it here or wait for one of the one-on-one sessions you mentioned earlier? I'm assuming it's probably a BAH question, but go ahead, ask everybody. So absolutely, go ahead. I'll keep cruising until I see it pop up, and then I'll address it. I think it'll be good to ask it and then me answer it, because I'm sure we have other veterans on here too as well. So feel free, Michael. So as I'm talking, Michael, feel free to type, and then I'll see it pop up. Check out our success stories, stories.sabio.la. This is great for research purposes. If you really want to see what people are doing after the program here, what are their job titles, what kind of companies are they getting? These are just a few and some big names on there. But check out stories.sabio.la. You'll get a more in-depth look at what these guys are doing. I would Google search their job title, their company. There's a lot of great companies out there in this industry that you've probably never heard of, but have been around for like 1,000 years and do amazing things and pay really well. That's just the thing with this industry. So check that out, see what that's all about. Really great for the research process. And then next steps. So what to do next? So start coding. Again, hop into those free courses that we offer on the website there. JS Foundations or pre-work. It's also an HTML CSS class. But dip your toe in it. See if this is for you. It really gives you a great option. Even if you are looking at doing the 17-week option, these are still great for you. Still hop in there. You're just going to see it again the first 4 week in that 17-week option, but start coding. And then stay in touch. So of course I'm available as much as I can. I will answer questions. I'm in Slack. Email me, Slack me, log some one-on-ones if you need. We also have a team. We have an amazing admissions team of consultants and counselors. Ali, Meg, and Alexa are always there ready for you. Also, Zach is in the Slack too as well. I think Zach, I still got you right. Do you want to plug your Q&A, Zach?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So on top of the office hours, I also do an open Q&A. That's every Monday, usually around 2 to 3. And during this time, totally unstructured, you come and ask me whatever you want to know. Whether it be life as a student, whether it be getting jobs outside, what that looks like, what you'll be learning at Sabio, anything you want to ask me, I can absolutely provide that for you. And it's just unstructured, open. Come on in, talk to me, get to know me, get to learn a little thing or two, and then that's it.
Awesome. Zach, any words of wisdom? And then Connor, start thinking of your words of wisdom next.
Absolutely. Start coding. All right, start coding now. Take advantage of those free courses that we're offering and just get to it, because there's so much to learn, and getting started sooner, it'll just help you in the long run.
Perfect. Connor, any words of wisdom?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I'd say utilize your resources. Zach has office hours. That's huge. I would attend those as soon as possible. But yeah, get coding. This is a great program. I highly recommend it. I have multiple friends who've been successful through it. Every single person I personally have known who's gone through this program has come out with a job. And And those are all people who have given the time, worked hard, put everything you can into it, and you will come out successful.
Awesome. That's really cool to hear. Everybody's getting gigs. Yes. Well, thank you guys for coming out. I'm gonna do something. I've done this before in the past. I think especially right now. I did a lot last week. I think I'll do it again today. I just because I saw Michael's question. If you're a veteran on the call, please stay on. Give me about 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna just kind of go over some really basic info so you have it. I'm assuming a lot of BAH questions with live remote due to COVID. You have vet tech, GI Bill, all kinds of stuff. I'm just going to kind of throw out some basic information and ask some general questions. So I'll take a little bit of time after here. So if you're not a veteran, or if you are a veteran, you just already know all that stuff, feel free to log off. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Zach, Connor, thank you for seeing. Always great seeing you guys. And hopefully you'll visit us again soon.
All right, everyone. Hope to see you guys in here.
Awesome. Thank you so
Take
much,
care,
guys.
everyone.
Again, give me about 2 minutes, veterans, if anybody wants to stay on. Hopefully Michael didn't log off. Michael, you still on? You're the one that asked a good question. Okay, good. You're still on. So give me about 2 minutes here, and I will kind of address those questions and just kind of lay out some pretty basic information for you guys. All right, give me just a second. All right, cool. Let's thank you everyone for staying on. Definitely want to get, I see right off the bat, the BAH category. So let me just read what Michael wrote, and then I'll of course answer that question. It'll be a segue into the BAH stuff. So Michael, it's a BAH related question. The vet tech benefits page says that if you participate in an online program, your stipend will be half of the BAH national average for an E5 with dependents. However, I was told by an admissions rep before this meeting that if I physically move within 120 miles of any of the campuses, for instance, if I rented a co-pod or a share pod in LA, that I would still get the full California BAH, even if I'm doing the online only course. This is an enormous difference. Yeah, it is. So I have same questions as Michael. Also, I was told that we would get an additional month of BAH benefits if we took 17-week. Yes, that's correct too as well. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much what I thought it was going to be. So how it works. So we are live remote due to COVID. Yes, probably about 3-4 weeks ago, if you were doing vet tech, you were going to have to report into class 18 hours, 2 days a week. You're still live remote. Your IP address would record at the campus. We were going to open the campus. It was a big deal. We were working around it, try to help our vet techs get in there. But some recent changes came down the pipeline probably about 3-4 weeks ago, that now, if you are, and I'll do vet tech first, if you're looking at using vet tech, if you live within a 120-mile radius or 2-hour commute, I think it's 120-mile radius is that main call out, you can get 100% BAH given that you're live remote due to COVID without reporting to class. Now, if you're outside of that, if you're even a couple miles outside of that, you are going to plummet down to a little bit over half the national average. So it's about 800 and something bucks, the national average. So that is for vet tech. So yeah, big difference there. So if you can use pod shares is a great, here, let me put that on the chat. If you can get a pod share, they're super cheap, like 50 bucks a night. Let me get the website here. If you can do pod share just for the time while you're here, pretty beneficial. I think our and don't quote me on it, but the BAH is about 3,400-ish for our Southern California amount. So pretty nice amount. So that's for vet tech specifically, but no reporting to class at all is needed. Now, if you're looking at using GI Bill, you get 100% BAH live remote due to COVID anywhere in the nation, given your area. So yes, if you live in North Carolina, you're not going to get the SoCal BAH, would be nice, but they'll give you that area. As if you were to go to a college in your area, you'd get your BAH for that amount. So still, it might even behoove you to check out maybe living here while you're going to school. So that's some of the BAH changes that are fairly recent, and that's how we're enrolling. And we've been handling vet tech for a little over a year now, because they've actually had this benefit repetitively. And there's only a allotted amount of funds. So a lot of students are trying to get in January 17th, even February 21st. These funds have been open since October. So rushing in and trying to get in, especially with these changes, is going to be a kind of a game changer. So hopefully that cleared some stuff out. And this is pretty candid. There's only a couple of us. Feel free to, anybody have any questions at all in regards to that? You can talk too. You can go off mute. You don't have to type it. Sorry, I didn't say that. Feel free to go off mute if you have a question. I think it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, those changes were pretty nice. We were trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to get to camp? Now, if that changes, because we all know the VA, if that changes, we'll adapt. We'll figure it out. But as it is right now, we're moving forward with that and that information. So nice benefits there. Any other questions at all? And I know when you get off this, you're gonna think of more questions. Again, click that link for a one-on-one. Cool, right on, guys. Well, hopefully that helped, that little tidbit of information. Hopefully the info session helped too as well, gave you an idea of what to expect here at Sabio. Please stay connected. Again, we have another info session tomorrow, 2 p.m. I don't know if Zach's gonna, or no, I'm sorry, we have another one today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think we have an alumni on there coming on. His name's Matt. So he's coming on, and then I think we might have an alumni tomorrow as well. So come check it out. If you know anybody else that needs some more information, tell them to come out and check us out. Absolutely, Dennis. Absolutely, yes. And Michael too. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.